I'm Pastor Carl Hetler from Broadway Christian Parish, and I'm joined by Tanika Harris from St. Margaret's House. Tanika, thanks for joining me.
Yes, my pleasure.
Summarize for us what St. Margaret's House does for the community.
So what we are is a day center for women and children in the community experiencing economic hardships. So we provide emergency services such as food, clothing, hygiene items, just a shelter during the day for women and children to come to, get out of the elements and just to be in a safe community. Um, yes.
Wonderful. How long have you been working there, Tanika?
I have been affiliated with St. Margaret's House for 14 years this year.
That's great. So for our
Yes.
volunteers who are maybe just starting to get involved with people who are experiencing economic hardships, as you've described, what are
Mhm.
some of the lessons that you've learned about how best to help people and some of the challenges that you faced also at St. Margaret's House?
Well, the first main thing that I learned is to make sure that you create and have healthy boundaries with people. Ensuring them that you're there to help, but knowing that you can't solve all their problems in in a day's meeting or even a week's time. That it does take time. So just making sure that they're aware and you're aware of those. Um, so that is my main thing, and just knowing that some things take a while to figure out. Sometimes you can go in thinking that it may be a quick solution to something like a quick phone call or a quick application, but there's other layers to it. So just knowing that, having the patience and just knowing that things may not just go as fast and in a way that you would anticipate them to go.
Is there an anonymous or generalized example you can give of that, of someone you've worked with in the past?
Yeah, I mean, something right now just as simple as helping people get a social security card, because with that, a lot of I have housing applications and things as such, people need that in order to get it, whether it's for themselves and for their children, or even those, if they do receive, social security benefits, getting that benefit statement. So, with that, you have to now create an account online with the Social Security office. And a lot of times, because the women that we see move so often, they aren't aware of the address that is on file with the Social Security. And so when you go to set up that appointment, or I'm sorry, to create that account, you oftentimes can't do it because the information they're giving you isn't correct, or they can't remember things about their past when they try to verify their identity. So just kind of figuring all that out, having to make phone calls to the Social Security office, which, you can be on hold for quite some time. And so thinking that a quick fix, to just, create an account really fast to get them the information that they need, like that will be a fast process, and sometimes it's not. And so just knowing that you could run into challenges as such.
That's a great
So we
example.
saw
Thanks.
that a lot during this past winter, trying to help people get that information they needed.
You talked about healthy boundaries. What are some examples of things that St. Margaret's House doesn't do that you find women asking for, that you have to say a boundary and say, we don't do that?
Like give rides to people. Um, I guess, I mean, before my time, but in the past, they did do that, and the situation kind of put a volunteer in a dangerous setting, and so for their safety, we encourage them not to give rides. And then sometimes, because if you give one ride, then the next person wants to ride, and the next person, so then it becomes a cycle, and then you tell one person no, and then it becomes an issue.
Sure. What approaches have worked best to help people in the long run?
Um, I guess really just patience and kindness and just meeting people where they're at and knowing that what we may think is best for that person in the moment may not be the best thing for them. Example, we thought that it was a woman who came to us and we figured she needed housing. She was ready for housing, like living on her own. That was the best situation for her. And she got the place and she didn't even last a month before they were on our way to putting her out. And that's because that's not what she truly needed in that moment. It may have been housing, but it should have maybe have been a different housing situation where maybe she was in a group home, somebody to ensure that she was, taking the steps to do all the things she needed to do. So just knowing that, just kind of meeting people where they are and figuring out from there.
Right,
And
and
that,
being able to figure out even what they're asking for if they're not quite ready for that yet, what's
right,
a preliminary step you can take.
absolutely.
That's a
Hmm.
good example. Any other cautions that you would give someone who's volunteering, maybe for the first time, working with someone who's in facing economic hardship?
Um, I I guess really just go in with an open mind and an open heart, but I guess try not to be too naive, if that makes sense, because some people will tell you what they think you want to hear to get what they need in that moment, and it may not be truly what they need. So just really listening to the stories that are being told, and just assessing it, and maybe not quickly acting on something. Take a minute, and then like I said, assess everything that's being said and everything that's being told. Maybe do a little research, make some phone calls and things to ensure that you're helping that person the way they need to be helped.
I know after 14 years, you're very involved, not just at St. Margaret's House, but the larger community. Final question is, what are missing components? What are things that we don't have services, whether it's nonprofit or government run, that are missing in helping care for people and helping get them stabilized?
Um, I wouldn't necessarily say this is missing now because they're trying to do more of it, but I think to have more people to walk through with people through the things that they need to get done or do. I don't think there's enough bodies that are helping to do that. So, like if somebody is trying to do housing or have appointments to make or things like that, just keeping people on track and just in checking in and ensuring that they're doing the things they need to do, even if they're in a home, just checking in for housekeeping or, so that they can stay where they are because oftentimes they don't have that support. And so just more, I guess, in person, like following people around, like support, more in depth case management, I guess is what I'll say.
Wonderful. I appreciate your time and thanks for all the insights you've shared, Tanika.
Yes, absolutely.